Welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a beautiful day to talk about something that I find fascinating. Um, Thought-provoking, and may actually cause some anger, stir some people up. I hope not. I hope not. I hope you can bear with me and just maybe sit and ponder about it before you make any harsh decisions to wipe me off and to cut me out and to just ignore me and go off. Just give it a go. Just give it a try. Once in your life, just give it a go. Don't judge. Just wait till the very end. How about that? So it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to talk about crystals. And at 38 years old, I'm 54, 55 now. And at 38 years old, I started as a human being who felt things, and the path I wanted to feel was all about healing, and crystals came along on that journey. It was really fascinating, so organic and so beautiful. And within about 3 years, I wanted to understand crystals on a deeper level. And some of the questions which were always asked of me is about cleansing crystals, clearing the crystals, energizing the crystals, and there's so many words, so I found that fascinating, and I went through the process of many shamans telling me what to do. And I haven't even told you half of them. I mean, one of them was putting them in lemon juice or putting lemons around them and putting them into sage, natural sage, planting the crystal in and amongst lemon trees, sage, and so forth. And I haven't told you half of the things that I used to do, but it doesn't really matter, because the things that I learned over the years, which really benefited and worked, that I thought worked, and then eventually I realized something so profound, and I don't often share it with you, and I don't blatantly put it to you and tell you what I feel, because it really is, to be honest, hurtful to a lot of people. That's why it's like, well, just give me a chance. I don't want to just come out and say it, because if I come out and say it, you're just going to get angry, okay? So at the beginning, I started putting my crystals to cleanse and clear them and strengthen them into salt water. Predominantly, I used to go to the sea and get the salt water and bring it back up here, but then it was too much of a trip, and I was using the salt water to cleanse and clear negative energy, because salt water is a natural vacuum cleaner for negative energy, and that's why the sea is so profound. That's why people go to the sea and they always feel wonderful by the sea, or they say that I was born to live near the sea, and every time I'm by the sea and on the sea, I feel like I'm different. I feel healthier and cleansed and cleared. Yeah, because the sea is a natural vacuum cleaner. And I saw that many years ago. I saw it when people were walking, going in and coming out. I used to people watch, and I could see the frequency, the vibration of people when they enter into the sea and when they come out. It was completely different. And then sometimes I actually were like shaking my head saying, did I just see that? Did I see negative energy get sucked away from that person stood by the sea, and it just draining out of them into the sea? So I realized, well, if this is the case, maybe if I take the sea and bring it up here and start to cleanse and clear my clients, that negative energy which is on them and within them, and it would go into the sea. It was incredible. It was going into the sea because I brought it up here in buckets. And then I wondered to myself, is it possible to create sea? So I got natural sea salt, hot water, put it in, and put the bowl next to the client, and sure enough, it worked. And then I thought, okay, now I'm putting them into the crystals into this seawater. Is it making a difference? And I don't know. I just put them in because it felt, oh, maybe I should, because crystals have negative energy. Obviously, we have negative energy. Crystals must have. And the more I realized I was being told this conversation, through various books, and I realized, am I just being programmed here by people telling me? And then I realized I was. And then I came to a conclusion, to a reality check, to stop and look instead of just believe. And I stopped and looked, and I spent then 2 years looking for crystals that had negative energy. And guess what? Yeah, you're right, I couldn't find one. And I realized that the more I worked with crystals on a healing note, whether I was meditating, holding it, and asking for good energy to come in, I realized that the crystals was emanating a new energy. And through clients, so I'd hold a crystal and I'd meditate with it, or I would lay a crystal on a client who suffered with night terrors. And as I was giving the healing session, the energy that was coming through the universe, through me or around me and going into the client, was the same energy that the crystal would absorb. So now I realize that when I gave that crystal to somebody else who had night terrors, they'd feel better and they wouldn't have night terrors. So I came to the conclusion, through no books, just through experience, that if you are healing somebody of a certain frequency that the universe knows how to heal it, that frequency will be absorbed as a memory in the crystal forevermore. So thus started the pure energy healing crystals, and today we are probably top 10, top 100 selling crystals on the internet in the world. I believe so. Many people have told me this who are in a position of knowing. So we're doing great. Why? Because that's my secret. And as a pure energy healer, that's what I do every day. Going back to the point where I was learning how to cleanse and clear and energize crystals, I was putting them into sea salt, just banging them in there, pulling them out, and they feel great. Saging them, Palo Santo smoking them, and wow, they're brilliant. Putting them in Mother Earth, brilliant, fantastic, they're great. Putting them into the sun, brilliant. What I realized that energy, if it's high, goes into the crystal and gives it memory. So going into the sun is an energy, so it's getting the sun's energy. Beautiful. People talked about the moon's energy. Never for me, because I never felt right, because I was probably filled with parasites. Now not so much, but still I am still affected with the moon, so I follow that. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Some people love it, no problem, follow that. So it got to the point where I realized that you can put beautiful energy into crystals through you, through the universe, through spirit, through the energy that you pull, through the energy that you work with as a healer. And that energy is a memory. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful memory. You can call it energizing. You can call it what you want, but predominantly it's just a new memory that's in the crystal, which is high frequency, high vibration. So you can, in a sense, say, oh yeah, that's energized. And you can say, oh Mark, yeah, yours are reactivated. You could say that. But on a level of understanding crystals, in my understanding and seeing, is that this is like a computer receiving information and storing it. Now, when it comes to negative energy, I've worked with 100,000 crystals, maybe more. And in that time of working with people with really, really heavy energy, I'd get 5 or 10 crystals, or maybe 20 crystals, or 200 crystals. I'd put them under the bed, on top of the bed. And when I'd finished working with that client who may have had spirit trapped in between two worlds, attachments, negative energy, demonic, whatever you want to call it, just bad energy. When I'd finished the healing session, I used to think at the very beginning, these crystals must be really bad, or they're exhausted and we need to heal them again. this was all conversation. This was all programming from other people's books. The Crystal Bible and what people used to say. But there came a point where I said, I'm not listening to people anymore because something wasn't right. And that was, no matter how bad the person was, whether they were angry, nasty, demonic, whatever you want to call them, or whatever was inside them and what they were going through, whenever I put the crystals down, I never ever felt or saw anything negative. I just saw a glowing energy and the crystal was beautiful. So I kind of want to go right to the very end of this conversation and say, in a nutshell, what I'm wanting to say and what I've always wanted to say. That when you or when somebody else claims that a crystal needs help, it's in bad energy. It's been with somebody with a disease, or somebody's gone through the worst case of abuse, or they're going through cancer, and now you've got that crystal back. And you're panicking and worrying because now the crystal is no longer the same and all that. I want to tell you something. At the very beginning, I keep going back to what I need to tell you before you start getting upset. There were a group of about 5 beautiful souls. And I asked for, was it 4? Let me get this right. We had a crystal workshop, like a little seminar, and there were 5. I just invited 5 people. It was a close circle. And these were people who worked with crystals and who were pretty awesome healers. And they kept asking if they could come and learn what I was learning. And I wanted to share with them something that would make them think. So I think it was either 1 or 2 went out of the room and 3 was left in the room. And I asked them to go downstairs and just, I'll call them back. So I said to the 3, I said, I've got some crystals here. I said, they're energized, they're powerful, they're amazing. They've been worked with shamans, all of the most powerful healers in the world, and they're 5 of them. And I said, I'd like you to just feel them and tell me what you feel. And they started holding them and saying amazing things. And then I asked them to sit down, and I said, I'd like you to sit down and close your eyes in meditation. Don't open your eyes. And I'm going to invite the 2 of the other participants into the room. And they came into the room. And I said, okay, guys, just you 2, I want to share something with you before I start this. These 3 or 4 are meditating. Please ignore them because now it's your moment to feel. I said, I've got some crystals over here, talking about the same ones. And I said, and they've been worked upon by people with cancer. They've been held by people with demonic energy and bad energy. And they feel really, really heavy because they've gone through so much terrible work. And I'd like you to feel them and tell me what you think. So I put them into their hands and they opened their eyes after 10 minutes and said, they were really terrible. They need cleansing. I heard a message from Spirit saying that they need to be put in salt, and I could feel the demonic energy in them. Okay. So they opened their eyes and I left it with them to ponder on that conversation because they all went for dinner then. And they came back and they were angry with me. They thought I was cheating them. I wasn't cheating them. I was just showing them something that I learned myself. I understood myself. I had to break through from the programming of what crystal, like the Crystal Bible and many other crystal books say. So there was, I remember there was a day when somebody came to see me, and she gave me a crystal and she said, I need it charging, Mark. It's terrible, it's bad, it's awful, it's got negative energy, blah, blah, blah. And the same afternoon, Barbara came in and she was like full of joy, coming up the stairs, bad leg, but she came up the stairs full of joy and happiness. And I said, oh, lovely crystal. She said, oh yeah, it's beautiful, its energy is powerful. And she lied down, and thereafter, 3 or 4 days after that, same thing happened. And it suddenly dawned on me at one point that, and here's the nutshell, this is it all in a nutshell. I realized that a crystal is a reflection of how you're feeling. So when you come to me and you say, this crystal feels bad, it means that you've lost your power and you're not strong and you're not feeling good. And it's a reflection of you. This crystal is powerful, it's amazing. That's a reflection of you. So what you're saying is who you are. Now, I know you're going to be upset with me, but maybe you could think about it a little bit. Because I've tried to share with you things that have been so profound and helped me. And that is, how do you cleanse a crystal really? What is it you've learned in these 20 years that breaks the mold of everything that's been said? And I've shared it with you a couple of times, so I'm going to share it with you one more time. First of all, everything that you do towards making that crystal a more powerful crystal, if it's done in a positive way, is going to add positive memory into the crystal when you hold it. So if you put it in salt and you take it out and you hold it, your thought of it being in the salt has made you believe that crystal now is charged or healed. So you're on the frequency of charged and healed because you think, and your thoughts become reality. Your thoughts become whatever you want it to be. So your whole body then vibrates at that frequency. You put it in the sea and you pull it out and you hold it and you feel that this crystal is now healed. You put it in Mother Earth or in the sun or in the moon or wherever, and you take it in your hand and now you know it's charged. But what if I was to tell you that if you can create that thought without all of these, doing these things, that you can charge the crystal in the sense of giving it good memory? Because what I've noticed is that no crystal has bad charge or bad energy. Not one. Never. It's only your thoughts of what's happened to you or what that crystal's done in that day for you to think it doesn't work anymore. And I've tried to explain to you guys that sometimes when a crystal doesn't work anymore, it means that it fixed what it needed to fix. And therefore you don't feel the same energy because it's done its job. It's not going to continue doing something that doesn't need to be fixed. So first of all, yeah, I've been cut. So you put something on there and you feel the burn, but then the burn goes and then you take it when that's all fixed and you put that same stuff on and you don't feel no burn. Why? Because it's fixed. And that's the same with the crystal. The crystal will target what needs to be sorted, and you'll feel it, or maybe you don't, but some people are sensitive and feel it, and then, oh, it doesn't work anymore. Well, no, it's fixed what it needs to fix. So again, you'll be angry with me again. I know some of you will be upset with me again. Because hey, I could be wrong, but this is my experience. So here's a trio, one of my most beautiful I would say this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. Create this crystal. For 2 decades of working with thousands of crystals, I recognize that 3 crystals that come together, that work in harmony and great power to give cleansing, clarity, and a kind of new extraterrestrial feeling and energy that you've never felt before, together fit as the Moldavite trio. So how does Mark cleanse this? How does Mark energize it? It's really simple. If you are a reflection of your crystal, if you're feeling bad, then the crystal will energize and help you. But if you're feeling amazing and you're smiling and you're happy and you're at peace, then you take that crystal and you hold it and you give that crystal the same energy. Now, you don't need to hold it, just need to let it sit there. Because when you're feeling good, the energy will go into that crystal as memory. And when you're not feeling good, the energy of that crystal will give you back. So in truth, a crystal is simply the light, and you are the battery charger. So you're a dynamo. You give good energy, or you're feeling bad, and this gives you good energy. So you both work simultaneously as partners, and that's why the crystal always chooses you. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope I haven't upset you, but maybe I've opened you up a little bit to think about this. I would encourage you to try this, and there's never, in these 2 decades, there's never been a crystal that hasn't healed me or helped me. And there has never been a crystal that I've ever held that's had negative energy, even if somebody says it's got negative energy, because normally I'm looking at that person and they have the negative energy, not the crystal. So this is something we can think about, something we can agree to disagree on, or maybe I'm not asking you to believe me, but I am asking you to just have a little bit of food for thought there and meditate on it and see what you feel. One of the biggest secrets of black magic, voodoo and spells in so many ways are that if you are doing that to somebody else, you have to, you know this, you have to tell the person what you're doing, because anybody who is devious and dark, and I'm not saying spells as all spells, but some people who try to manipulate others, they will get that message to them, and then soon as they receive that message, that person then starts to kill themselves, eat away at their own energy and frequency, because they believe in what something has been said. Thus, this is true about anything to do with crystals. If somebody tells you that that crystal is bad, then you are going to create that feeling and build on it, because you believe in what somebody's told you. Or maybe you don't, and then it doesn't affect you, because like I said, I don't believe when people say things about crystals that they're negative and they've got no energy. I don't believe that, because I'm looking at the crystal, not at you. It's not that I don't believe you. I believe what you're saying is real, but I'm going to have a look at that crystal and feel it myself. And I'll feel if it's causing any issue. And the only thing that I've ever found in these years of working with crystals is the most phenomenal thing. When you hold a crystal, you can feel where they're healing you. You can, if you practice enough and listen enough. You can just hold a crystal like this now and feel, what is it doing to my body? So here now in my head, I'm getting a pain. So this crystal is healing any blocks or issues or any frustration or anything that I've gone through in these past few days right here. And it makes so much sense of what I've been through in these few days. Total sense. And that's what I'm feeling right now with this crystal when I'm holding it and asking what I'm feeling. A little bit in the heart as well, because I feel a little bit of heart pain because of something that I've been through personal. So I can feel that a little bit in the heart now. You know what, guys? This isn't what you have to worry about. It's this. Have a great day. You're the most powerful crystal in the world, remember that. So work on you and become the light and the most powerful energetic frequency. Take care.